I mean, I was told by my film professor, there are films and there are movies, and sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
Everything in this movie is based on memory. A platoon of American Navy SEALs on a surveillance mission gone wrong in insurgents' territory, a boots-on-the-ground story of modern warfare and brotherhood told in real time and based on the memory of the people who lived it. Warfare 2025, A24. This movie is written and directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. Also, for the cinematography, which was a very cool little highlight of this movie, is done by David J. Thompson in his debut, which he did a pretty cool job with here, I'd have to say so myself. And this movie definitely was a treat to go see. The acting also is done by a very fun crew here. We have Will Poulter, who we all know, Charles Melton, who I'll talk about later, Joseph Quinn, Kit Connor, Taylor John Smith. The list goes on. There's a very young and also extremely talented group of guys here, and they've all knocked out of the park here in this movie. And with Warfare, this movie, I saw the trailer for it last year. I think it came out last year, maybe January. The trailer came out for this movie, and I have to say that, I was very interested in the movie, but also my expectations were kind of low and also kind of high, I guess, just because this movie is, it takes place in Iraq and it's a war movie, and history has shown us that for the most part, war films that are set in Iraq are usually not the best ever. I mean, there's been some highlights, like I said, not all of them are exactly bad. We've had American Sniper, which is a solid movie. That's a very good movie. I love American Sniper. Very good one, directed by Clint Eastwood. Great performances. That's a solid movie. That's a great movie. Is it exactly accurate? I don't know. I'm not going to say if it's accurate or not. Wasn't actually there to say it. Then also 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. That's from, what's his name again? Michael Bay. That's a very solid war movie, also set in Iraq. Then there's some other ones that are war films in Iraq, but just aren't the best in the world. I mean, it's kind of like, it's just not good. I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, there's been movies like 12 Strong. That was back in 2018, kind of. That's a movie that is set in Iraq. And yeah, 2018. It's about after 9/11. There's some guys on horses and they're fighting terrorists. That's not the best movie, but it's kind of cool. But for the most part, like I said, most of these films that are taking place in this setting, they aren't that good. For the most part, they aren't the best in the world. They're actually pretty low quality films, unfortunately. And there's definitely been some incredible war films, like, Saving Private Ryan's been a very, very good one. And the list goes on of just incredible war films, like also, haven't seen it, but still, Apocalypse Now. That's a great movie. And the list goes on of incredible war films. But for the most part, recently, there hasn't been a lot of good war films. I mean, there's been some highlights. Like I said, there's been, what's that one movie called? I'm forgetting all these on top of my head right now. But, Full Metal Jacket, Inglourious Basterds, the list goes on, 1917, Dunkirk, this is a very good one also. There's been some solid war films, but like I said, overall, I think for the most part, it's been pretty low quality recently. There hasn't been a lot of real banger movies besides, I guess, 1917, also All Quiet on the Western Front. Those are some notable, very good war films, but for overall, there hasn't been any bangers recently for when it comes to the war genre, unfortunately. And when I saw the trailer for this movie, for Warfare, I thought this could be different. It looked super cool. It looked not fun, but it looked like it would be a solid movie that I would enjoy. But still, my expectations were kind of low because there's been so many of these movies in this setting that, I'm not going to expect a masterpiece, but I'm expect to have at least a 4 out of 5 movie, a solid film that I'll enjoy. That's what I was hoping at least. And yesterday was Sunday. I got a chance to see it in IMAX in that beautiful format at my local IMAX theater. And I have to say, this movie did not deliver on what I wanted it to, but instead it over-delivered by just how good it is. And I may be regretting this in a little bit of time here, but as it stands right now, this is one of the best movies of the decade so far. As of right now, it's my favorite on the year. I'm recording this on Monday. I haven't seen Sinners or Superman or anything like that, but as it stands right now, this is my favorite film in 2025. Also, this is a very big claim, but this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best war films ever made in cinematic history. That sounds crazy. It's been less than 24 hours since I saw the movie, but still, I think this is really one of the best war films ever made in cinematic history. It was just that good that I had to make that bold of a claim. There is a quote from Roger Ebert. He's one of the best, if not the best, film critic of all time. And he said that it's not what a movie's about, it's how it's about and how it goes about being what it's exactly about. And you may be confused there, but this movie, it's set in Iraq. So already, like I said previously, movies that have been in Iraq, they haven't been the best in the world. They're kind of low budget, kind of just come and go, and they're not the best ever. And it's not exactly what the film's about. It's about how it goes about being what it's about and how it goes about telling this story. And this movie, I think, is so brilliant in its way of structuring the movie and also how it's doing it. It's so different from everything else that it can be a con that I'll talk about later. But still, I think that it's one of its biggest strengths by just how unique it is compared to everything else. And I'm just going to go into the pros right now for the film. This movie also, just a random little side note, this movie is, I guess, it is kind of short. It's only like an hour and a half long. I mean, you know, if you add in trailers, it's like 5 hours, but still, the movie alone outside of trailers is only like an hour and a half. It's a very short movie. It really goes by in like 30 minutes, but it's still a great film. I think that it's definitely been proven that a movie is really as long as it needs to be. I mean, like I said previously, a while ago, I said that Oppenheimer is like 3 hours long, and it needs to be that long to tell that story. Dune Part 2, almost 3 hours long. That's essential. This movie, if it's an hour and a half, that's really all it needs, and I'll talk about its runtime later on, but, you know, for now, it's an hour and a half, super short, super quick. That's another reason why you should go see it. It's, you know, you're going to be in and out of the theater in a little bit. But going to the pros here for the movie, I do think that one of the best things about it is just really, I'll go off the rip here, the sound design is insane. I mean, the fact that I was able to flinch at this movie, that's already deserving at least like 4 stars, because I really never flinch at a movie. I mean, I'm not, even like at horror movies, like I don't really flinch. I don't even watch horror movies that much either, but still, I haven't flinched at a movie in a while. It's been a long, I can't even remember. It has been at least over a year, over 2-3 years since I've actually flinched at a movie. And this movie, it did it for me. Somehow Warfare was able to make me flinch, mainly because the sound design is just, it's so good. It's so loud. It's so punchy. I saw it in IMAX, so the number 1 IMAX screen was solid. It's not like it's Dune Part 2 or Oppenheimer in IMAX, but still, the IMAX presentation is always a massive plus. But 2, that IMAX sound design literally rocked my core by the sound of the guns being so loud and punchy, then also the sound of the explosions, feeling like I was there in the scene with them, alongside of them, was also insane. The sound design is incredible for this movie. Will it get nomination for an Oscar next year? It definitely should be. It's at the top of my list for sure for Oscar potential. And also another, I guess, kind of random thing, but just its ability to capture the quiet moments, hearing the subtle ambiance in the channels, also just hearing the breathing from the characters at certain points. It's so good. It's just so incredible. The sound design is literally like 10 out of 10. It's so good. I love it so much. And my second thing here is more of a longer kind of, I guess not rant, but still something to say that this film does very, very well is, I would say, lingering. That's the big word that I thought of when this movie was, you know, just happening from my eyes, is that this movie is doing a great job at lingering at moments. And it is, like it says, it's all in real time. So I wasn't there in the mission to hear how long it was. I haven't done research to see how long was this mission. Does the film capture that accurately? Was this mission really like an hour and 10 minutes in its like length here? Well, you know, I think that doesn't really matter. I wasn't there to say, like I said, but still, this movie does a great job at lingering on moments. And you may think, okay, it lingers on loud moments. That's also very important. But for me, the lingering is important in the quiet moments. The moments in the beginning of the movie, like in the beginning of the film, there's about 20 minutes before any kind of action. Maybe 20-30 minutes of straight silence. Nothing happening, just them inside of a house, walking around, talking about stuff, and just talking through a channel on the radio. That's it. That's the entire like 20-30 minutes of the movie, and I love that. I've also said previously how acting can be loud or it can be quiet. Good acting is not always loud. Daniel Day-Lewis in what's that one movie called? There Will Be Blood. That's a great performance. It's very loud and very subtle as well. But the subtle moments in acting are very important and very, very, very expressive and also very effective. Just like how I said with Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner, very, stoic and very straight-faced the whole movie, but still, that's incredibly hard to do, and also it's very effective when he does it in that film. And this movie, the acting is good. I'll mention that too a little bit later, but still, with this movie's ability to linger on the quiet moments, or the moments that are very chaotic and loud and very hectic and confusing and makes you panic and have very high anxiety, it lingers on all of the moments and makes you feel a part of it, to where in some movies it'll kind of cut away to the next moment. But with this one, it felt like a 5-minute scene of someone being patched up for a wound. Felt like an eternity. Felt like a 2-hour short film somehow about a guy being patched up for a wound, which was hard to watch at times. I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard to watch, very gruesome, which I think is different from a lot of war movies these days, but also it was very good. I definitely do appreciate that. So the ability to linger on the quiet and the loud was so good. I mean, that alone just go see the film for yourself to see what I mean. The movie's great for that aspect of the lingering on everything to make me feel like I was there. I felt like I was involved in this story, with the sound design as well being right there with me, but also the moments to where the audience is getting a chance to be a part of this team and this squad. Even though we may not want to be, that's not the way we want the situation to play out, but still, that's where we are right now. You're forced to witness these very gruesome and dark moments happening in front of your eyes, and just witnessing every little detail, every little hiccup of everything happening is beautiful. I love that for this movie. It's very well done, very well written. Nothing but thumbs up for me for this section. And my other thing here is definitely for the acting. The acting all around. I mean, all the actors are doing a great job here. Also, I think their training, you can definitely tell they went through a lot of, gun training on just how to move through buildings as a soldier, etc. Like I said before, I'm not a veteran, never been in the military. I can't say this is exactly accurate, but still, the dedication to this role, you can see it on screen. I think my favorite actors here were definitely Will Poulter. I've been giving a lot of love to him and seeing a lot more people appreciate him because of Will Poulter, mainly from The Bear. He was very good in The Bear, and he's been doing some other things here and there on the side, but he's just shown to be a very good actor. Also, Joseph Quinn, who literally came out of nowhere, and he's been on a generational run for some reason. He was in Stranger Things, then he was in A Quiet Place, then Gladiator last year, and then also Warfare this year, then Fantastic Four, Avengers next year. Year after that, he's going to be in Avengers, and also he's going to be in the Beatles movie. I'm not sure where this guy came from, but he gave a phenomenal performance in this movie that I have to give him some flowers because he was just really incredible for this film. And there's some other actors here too who didn't get a lot of time, unfortunately. That's a very kind of con for me as well. But still, I like that the movie, it gives the chance to us to have characters, but still the movie, it doesn't let us get to know them, which you may say that's just not that good of a thing at all. But I think it's kind of brilliant to not have that in this kind of movie. And I'm not saying that every war movie is like that, but you know how we have Saving Private Ryan, a great movie. That's an incredible film. But with that movie, it does have a lot more character stuff, which makes it a different kind of film. With this film, there's no time for them to be like, oh, hey, what's up? My name's Josh, and this is why I joined the military. This is why I fight. I have a kid back home. Here's her photo, etc., etc. Those are great things to have in a film. But with this one, it's not there, which adds just a little bit more like, I don't really need to know who you are and where you're from, but still, this moment is happening and we need to get along regardless of who we are, where we're from. That's, I think, a very cool thing to have in a film. It's very bold, I guess, but still, it's pretty needed, I think. I mean, this movie is still just an incredible experience to just see on screen. The experience of the loud explosions and crazy gunfire and the very high tense moments that Alex Garland does a very good job with. It's great. And everyone in the movie, all around, they've been all great. Also, forgot to mention, there's a lot of great actors in this movie. Like, all of them are just great. But Charles Melton, I want to give a quick shout out to him because he also is my, third, I guess, kind of favorite for the movie. Because Charles Melton, he was in December 2023. That was a great Oscar-worthy performance. He really did come on nowhere there as well. And he, I think, is going to be getting ready to go on a solid run. He has what it takes to go on a solid run as an actor, and I'm definitely here to go see it. He was in, like I said, December 2023, also Warfare this year. And then he's going to be in that new season of The Beef coming out, I think, maybe this year we should expect that, hopefully. But still, Charles Melton, he has a lot of talent. He's definitely going to go on a solid run here pretty soon. Just hop on the hype train early. The train's still being built, but he's getting ready to go on a solid run, I promise you. And then also for actors here, just one more thing, just Cosmo Jarvis. He was in Shogun as well. He did a solid job here too. Also going to be in the new Odyssey film from Christopher Nolan next year. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. But like I said, every actor, I don't have anything bad to say about anyone, but just, I guess the best way to go into the concert for the movie is that it does feel like it kind of wastes its characters a little bit. And it does really make me a little bit sad because the movie is kind of short, and at points, I think I would have liked just more of the character stuff, more of who this guy is, how did he join, just who they are. It's not like how I don't know anything, but yeah, essentially I don't know anything about anyone, which isn't a bad thing, but still, I would have liked more. And maybe that more just comes from this cast being incredibly talented. Like I said, Cosmo Jarvis is brilliant, and also Will Poulter, Charles Melton, Joseph Quinn, Kit Connor, Taylor John Smith, they're all incredible actors who I know can act their butt off, but they don't really get a chance to. It's unfortunate, but the script doesn't really give them an opportunity at all to kind of show their strengths as an actor or actress. It's just not there in this movie for them, which is upsetting. I'm not a fan of that. I understand it's not that kind of film. I understand the story itself is just kind of limiting. You don't really have a lot of time to do that in this hour-and-a-half runtime. Then also the story itself, that they just chose to write it this way to not really have any character moment, which is okay, but still, that felt like a very weak point for me. Like, Joseph Quinn, I think, is definitely maybe the best actor in this movie, but he doesn't really have a lot of time. Well, he definitely has a moment to show it for sure. But still, it's like I would have wanted more from Will Poulter, Kit Connor. Like I said, they're such great actors, but the script just isn't really there to make them shine, which definitely isn't their fault by any means, but still, it's a con that I just had to bring up. I'm just kind of nitpicking at this point that, I just wanted more from them. And my other con here is that the movie does feel kind of short. The movie, I wish, was longer, but once again, the film's just so good, I really could sit there for like 3 or 4 more hours, honestly. It's only an hour and a half, but hey, give me like 5 more hours of this movie, I'm all here for it for sure. And also, like I said previously, I think the way that this movie just writes itself, or the way it was written is a better word to say, and the way that they chose to make this film play out, it's a short movie. It's accurate to what happened, at least, from what we always hear, it's a very accurate movie. And, if it was maybe in the hands of Warner Brothers or Universal or something like that, maybe they would have taken this movie that only needed to be like an hour and a half long and made like a 2.5 hour movie, which is like a ton more character stuff in there, which wouldn't be accurate, but still would have been more like what we get here with other Iraq movies that are, like I said, not the best in the world. So it is short, but maybe that's just like I said previously, the film's short, but it might just need to be that long. That's all it is. Nothing really wrong with that at all. So just like I said, 2 cons that are more like little nitpicks. I just had to mention them here because they're on my mind a little bit. But regardless of that, whatever, doesn't matter. My final score for this film is an A. It's a 9 out of 10. This is one of the best films of the year so far. Right now it's my favorite, but that's definitely going to change. Like I said, this Friday we have Sinners, and that's going to be, we all know, a great film. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, the list goes on. That'll be a spectacular film. But as it stands right now, I'm recording this on April the 14th. And this is currently, right now, my favorite film of the year. And that will change probably like next week. But still, as it stands right now, that's where it is. So what should you do? You need to see this movie. You have to see it in a theater. This film was made for a theatrical experience. And if you're not doing that, then I'm not sure what you're doing. Just please go see this film in a theater. It may not be IMAX because of the Minecraft movie, and also you have Sinners, so it may not be an IMAX anymore, unfortunately for you, but still, see it in a theater. You'll never regret it, ever. This movie is solid, and it's one of the best 4 films of all time. I swear by it. This is a solid film. I'm not going to lie. They went in their bag a little bit here, and I definitely really did enjoy it. I say it every single year, but usually earlier on in the year, there's never really any movies coming out, like January through March. There's rarely anything out there. We had Mickey 17, wasn't really there for me, unfortunately, but finally, with this movie, Warfare, we're finally getting back into the films. We're finally getting back into great cinema, great films, and I'm all here for it. Just please go see this movie. You're going to love it a lot, I promise you. But with that out of the way, this episode's completely wrapped. It's all done. This has just been a great film to go watch, and please, I hope you share the same opinion. If you don't, then let me know what didn't you like about it. We have a little comment thing down there below, also a little fan mail thing as well. Just tell me, did you like it? Did you hate it? Or maybe why didn't you go see it? I don't know. We'll find out. Also, if you want to leave us a review, it helps us out. Keeps the lights on, keeps the fridge full. I mean, listening to the show alone is keeping our lights on somehow. The tariffs might hit pretty soon, so, just stay ready for a little fee to come to your email for the Court of Cinema, like a $50 charge. Look, the invoices and also the tariffs, look, we got to make ends meet somehow. So just, bear with us, please, and pay the little $50 fee. You help us out a bit. But until next time, obviously, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films, watch Warfare, obviously. Until next time, I'm Real Slogan. I'll see you boys in the movies.